Hello, April. James here, just to take an opportunity to talk to you a little bit about week five's assignment two, and that is the draft for the final drawing. You had mentioned in your notes that you had concerns about showing the figure from behind, and if that was going to be a problem. I don't really think that is a problem, just because front or back, the measurements, arms, legs, torso, head, neck, they're all pretty much going to be the same. So I don't really, if you feel more comfortable drawing the figure from behind, then I don't see where that's going to be a huge issue. So you can kind of go with what you've got going on here. Looking at the drawing, I think that you've been generous with white media, and that's good. You've drawn in shadows, and you've been playing around with shading throughout the figure, and I think that works fine. I'm assuming this is a tub in the background. Probably you need to do a little bit more work to make it look more like a traditional tub. I think there maybe should be like a rim here and maybe a shadow under that. Maybe some fixtures to put the water in. Something like that. I think that even though it shouldn't be the focus of this image, it is a fairly large part of the image. And I think taking a little time to and doing a little research and making it look a little bit more true to life, I think that's going to be helpful. Also, I'd probably give some suggestion of detail, tile work, or a flower or shampoos or something along the edge here. I think that's going to be help. That will help as far as the overall design of the image is concerned. Now, getting to the figure, what you've got here is a figure that is this part is standing with basically the back end facing us, but it's also slightly angled. And then we also have a twist in the body, so the shoulder is pointing directly at us, so that we can get a side of the profile. And I think that works okay. Since I don't have the source image in front of me, it's hard for me to make an evaluation, but I probably would have you check widths here. I think that when we get to this shoulder here and the neck, you see how they're sort of combining? And that's sort of creating a kind of a false neck. So look through here and see if you can get the neck to define itself and get the shoulder blade. You may need to get the shoulder out a little bit here to get it to better define itself, because right now I'm either looking at the neck going down into the spine, so that would be right around here. And I think that needs to be sort of a straighter line for the spine, or you need to define the shoulder a little bit more, have that arm stick out a bit to justify that bump out. Does that make sense? I think that's really the main area of concern for this drawing. I think that you've done a nice job with the shading. I would like to see you push darker shadows, like around the rear end here. You've got a fair number of transitions as far as the shading is concerned, and you've done some good work here. But as we move down to the legs, we don't really have very much in the way of shading. There should be a little bit more of a suggestion. Also, plump out those calves a little bit, because you've got sort of ankle and then a bump, and then there's the leg. So I want to see that line of the calf swell out and come back into the knee instead of it just being a little bump. So try doing that on both legs. And also try pushing a little bit more with shading. As far as the face is concerned, I think that the eyes might be a little bit too high. Do a double check and make sure that they're at the middle point between there should be a line that's the same amount of space between the eye and the top of the head and the eye and the bottom of the chin. So they probably need to come down a little bit. I was thinking that there's a little something off about the face, and I think that's it. So think about making that adjustment for the final. So it sounds like a grocery list of things I'm telling you to do with this drawing. It's really all of the stuff that I'm telling you to do are sort of minor things, just tweaks really. Do a little bit more research on the tub. Maybe throw in a few little items. That's not going to be too much. Do a little bit more shading. Pay a closer attention to the shape of the legs. And find out what's going on with the back. But the rest of the figure, and also bring the eyes down slightly. But I think the rest of the figure's looking good. And I think that your attention to detail is pretty good as well. Also, play around with highlights. Put some highlights on the face, more on the top of the breast, something along the abdomen. Maybe a suggestion of light on the lower back, top of the buttocks. Um, Play around with the light colors as well and see what happens. Okay? So it sounds like a lot, but I think it's something that you can handle. Alrighty?